What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? This your boy in light, Luciferian Prince, coming at y'all once again. I'm back. I had a bomb birthday. Had a ball. I enjoyed it. It is what it is. I'm in one piece. If I didn't email you during that time, trust me, this was my time for me to enjoy my birthday. Trust me, I wasn't being insensitive. I was just being considerate, to myself particularly. I also want to let people know, those people who did support me for my birthday, I really appreciate it. Those people who actually called me, contacted me, whatever the case may be, I rock with you. Appreciate it. As opposed to other concepts that I speak about on my channel, I also want people to know more now than anything about a procedure that I think has been really hidden from the legal concept of court procedure and what's the underlying mystery behind it. Now, some people are cognizant enough to know that the legal procedure that goes with court usually has to deal with spirituality, and it usually has to deal with commerce and the same. People who've consulted with me in the past, they know that exactly what I'm saying is very correct. And what I'm saying is very correct because according to spiritual principles that operate behind law, you have to realize that definitively, according to their system of law, they also make you believe in something that is make-believe, which gets you to basically, induce yourself to produce. People don't understand this. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand this. And I think one of the hardest parts about understanding the legal complexity behind the spiritual principle of law, most people are often disillusioned to believe that it's really you naturally that they're calling upon, and they're not. But in the name of this, I will say this, that what we have to understand is that we have to come to a more cognizant commercial realization and understanding the redemption process. The redemption process is meaning that yourself is looked at upon in the legal context of the Latin Romantic system as salvage. Now, salvage, according to legal definition, means particularly that if a ship is lost at sea, then the individual, particularly who redeems the ship and brings the ship to dry land, is actually entitled to the insurance policy for the ship. So you have to realize that when you were born from water. So you were considered already lost at sea. So when the trust association was, let's just say, fraudulently established, then what they basically did was they redeemed the insurance policy because they already considered you civilly dead. Civiliter mortuus is the Latinized, stylized definition behind the process of what I just said. So now that we have a cognizance of what's really going on, we have to also take it into consideration that these people considered us dead from the jump. But you have to understand that in the Mundi underworld prison system, which is basically this planet, according to the Zohar, which is Malkut, we basically are considered, as all people, as dead things. We're not really cognizant of the truth. We're not really cognizant of the simple fact that we're basically being spiritually attacked, especially through the legal administrative system of court. You better understand that the people who established this country were Freemasons. And I don't care what nobody says, it's a Christian nation. No, Christianity was just the religion that was imposed upon this region. It wasn't never really voluntarily accepted. That's a proven fact. Spiritual mechanisms have always worked behind the scenes because this is one thing that the Vatican does. The Vatican owns this corporation lock, stock, and barrel. Believe what you want, but I have definition, I have proof, I have documentation to prove that as a substantial fact. So what I also want to tell you is that in a legal summons, I'm going to read something that should shine light upon a more or less of a known subject that most people really don't delve into because they're so, caught up in their own, concepts and their own reality, but never realizing that everything that they accept is always secondhand. So one of the things I will tell you is that whenever you seek communication with spirits, or so to speak, you have to understand that there's always a summons or a ritual of some sort. People don't understand that even what's taking place today in culture and history, and even what's taking place now socially, it's still a ritual. Whether you believe that or not is perfectly fine. You don't have to agree with me. Trust me. You don't need to convince me of something that you don't know about. It's perfectly fine. But whenever they send you a summons, they always send you a summons in the name of all caps, right? So what people don't understand is that according to what's all caps, it's a corporation. Corporations are fictitious, which are considered dead things, as I said before, when a trust was established when you were born. Now, I'm going to read something from the Greater Key of Solomon. And I want you to understand that this sounds particularly like a court summons or a notice that they usually send you. So it says this: ritual evocation with the black mirror. Spirit in, I do rouse thee from the vessel tomb of darkness. I summon and call unto thee, spirit in, to arise from thy vessel and present thyself in the reflection of this mirror. Present yourself in the form of which that is known. Impart upon me thy visions of the world of shadows and that which I seek to know. Well, anyone that ever had a court notice, anyone that has ever had a court summons would know that what I'm saying is very true. What do I mean? Particularly, if you look at a court summons, and what does it say? You are hereby commanded to present yourself here at this particular time, on this particular day, to be here to answer for the charges that are against you. People don't really understand that, courts are set up as the Roman Catholic system. People aren't aware of that. I mean, they believe what you want. But spiritually, I will tell you that what they're doing is they're working behind the scheme of the law merchant to try to monetize your physical existence. Now, if you want to believe what you wish to believe, it's perfectly fine. Keep going to court. Keep talking about the Constitution. Keep talking about your rights and lefts. And guess what? I hope you fare well. But what I also will tell you is that what most people don't understand is that in the reality, behind the scheme, behind the reality, people need to take also notice to this higher spiritual mechanism that's behind it. That's why I said in my video, Specific Negative Averment is basically a way for you to break the curse that they put against you. Because particularly, you can't be a living thing and a dead thing at the same time. If you exist in the same time and spirit that I do, guess what? You need to understand that you need to put yourself in a particular situation. If you are lacking in that, or you have a pending court case, please contact me via email, please. And do not leave me no long email explaining the situation. Some things I would rather not know about. And if you committed a crime, so to speak, please don't contact me at all, because I have no time for that. Now, also to mention, whenever you deal with the higher principles behind the so-called concepts of what they say is black magic, there's no such thing as black magic. First and foremost, there is magic, and there's some things that people don't understand about in regards to with a K, because magic is just only making you believe in something that is real that really isn't. So realistically, yeah, it's black according to the definition because it's hidden. Only things that are hidden are in the dark, and that's why you have the connotation of black. Now, to further proceed, most people, they contact me and they say that they have these situations in their personal life, and it's totally understandable. I totally get it. Trust me, I'm familiar with it all too well. But I also knew myself behind the mechanisms of what was working between the reality of the legal system and the reality of the existence of commercialism. I know that it's all about really revenue. That's what it's really all about. It's not really about right or wrong, who's right or wrong, justice, and all this fake ass concepts that they try to throw up there. It's about raising some fucking money. Justice, according to definition, just is man's law. If you look up the legal definition in Black's Law Dictionary, if you don't have one, please contact me. I have the 2nd all the way to the 9th edition. But the truth is that most people don't understand that they're operating in a sphere that they know very little to nothing about. And that's the reason why a lot of these people sit here and they basically come to these channels with these concepts, and they really don't inform people fully about what really is behind it, because they don't even know them damn selves. So it's one of them situations where it's like, you know, you have to do your research. You have to do your due diligence. You have to make sure that you're in line with what it is that is working behind the scenes, because if you don't, you're going to fail. Serious. And that's why 98% of people who go into court lose. And then that's another reason why a lot of these people that call themselves sovereign citizens, they lose too, because they try to merge two concepts. You can't be slave and master at the same time. You're either sovereign or you're a citizen. If you're a citizen, you don't need to contact me until you fix your citizenship issue. If you're a sovereign, you definitely don't need to contact me, because you're already on your own path and you know what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of them situations where it's like, those people who do know and those people who don't know, well, it's very duplicitous. But it's not. That's not my problem to try to fix. You know, my channel is about informing and enlightening people who wish to know better. Straight up. If you don't agree with it, it is what it is. People who contact me via email, it is what it is. My time is very precious, and I'm going to be honest with you. If indeed I sense bullshit, I will not contact you. That's just the way it is. I'm a man with very limited time. So people, understand that if you have court situations, if you have procedures, if you have individual, so to speak, instances in your life that you don't know about, but you would like to wish to know about, please contact me. And agents, don't contact me. Because no matter what, there's nothing against the truth that you can do but for the truth. Always remember that. There's nothing you can do for the truth but against the truth. Because you got to realize you're dealing with people who live in a very alternate reality. Is what I'm not going to sit here and disillusion myself. I'm going to be very honest about my reality. And I know that irrespective of personal beliefs, yes, these people are using and trickery, and they're getting you into fear and intimidation. Because if you understand the legal purpose behind magic, you have to understand that in order for any magician, so to speak, to present itself, you know what I'm saying, to have a so-called spiritual entity present itself before it, they have to use fear. And that's what those protection seals are always used around magicians for. Because they fear that obviously something that they cannot control can overcome them. And remember that. Don't fear, you'll win. Peace, love y'all. And agents, fuck off my channel. Bitch. Take care, peace, love y'all.